So you're thinking of moving to Salem, Oregon, but you haven't decided which area of town is right for you? Well, you're in the right spot, because in today's vlog, we're going to be talking about South Salem, looking at a few houses in a few different areas. Let's get to it. Hi, and welcome to the channel Living in Salem, Oregon. If you're new to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living here in Salem, Oregon, consider subscribing so you can stay up to date on the current market here, and you'll be notified whenever I release new content. My name is Ryan Welty, and I am a real estate agent with Windermere Pacific West Properties here in Salem, Oregon. I've gotten calls and texts from people just like you who are thinking of moving to the Willamette Valley. So whether you're thinking of moving in 10 days or 100 days, feel free to give me a call, text, email, or my favorite, schedule a Zoom call with me. That way we can get to know each other a little bit and see if moving to Salem is right for you. As I mentioned in the intro, today we are talking about South Salem. Now this is the third video of a series I am doing covering the different areas of Salem. So if you want to check out some of those other videos I've done, feel free to hit the link that's going to show up on your screen. Now South Salem is one of the biggest areas I'm going to cover in this video series. So if there's a neighborhood you want me to drill down in the future and do a shorter video on, feel free to leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to get to it when we're done with the current series. Now, South Salem is a big area of Salem. Just to give you a picture, we are filming this in May of 2023, and there's about 290 active listings in all of Salem. And 144 of those active listings are in South Salem alone. Now, because South Salem is such a large area, there are a lot of different options for housing. You can find whatever you're looking for in or close to South Salem. Just to give you a few examples, you can find new construction here, whether that be new construction in an older neighborhood where there's just one lot that got subdivided, and you have a brand new house in an older neighborhood, or there are a lot of developments where it is an entire brand new neighborhood, and so you would get a new house in a newer neighborhood. Then on the flip side of that, there are historical houses or houses that are close to 100 years old. Now, if you want something actually on the historical registry, most of those are close to Bush Park and the Governor's Mansion in the northern section of South Salem and Central Salem. But if you are okay with not being on the registry and don't want to deal with all the paperwork, you can just stick with an older house, and you can find those all over in the area. And of course, you can find everything in between the old houses and the brand new houses here in South Salem. South Salem also has several homeowners associations. It actually has quite a few of these associations. And these can range from fees of $100 every quarter all the way up to several $100s a month. And some of these are pretty small communities, just a few dozen houses, and others are a few hundred, like around the golf courses. And there's even a HOA, or homeowners association, in Creekside that has two homeowners associations. There's one for Creekside in general, that's about $50, and then there's another one for a more intensive condo association that brings the total up to close to $400 a month. Now, I know some of you out there are just cringing when you hear HOA or homeowners association, and you just don't want to be told what to do. And don't worry, there's plenty of houses and neighborhoods that don't have any association in South Salem also. And then other types of housing in South Salem, you're going to find quite a few condos and townhomes, and these are going to be in your homeowners associations also. But if you're looking for something with a little more community, where you're not going to have to do quite as much of the exterior maintenance on the home, these can be a good option. And there's several different styles where it's just a single home in a community with some community buildings, or there's the shared walls condos lined up right next to each other. It really depends on what you're looking for. And the last type of housing we'll talk about real briefly, I actually can't really help you out very much with, is retirement communities. There are several of these in South Salem. A brand new one went up right by the Costco called Boone Ridge. And if you're moving into Salem and looking to retire, these can definitely be a good option. If you're interested in retirement communities, feel free to reach out. I'd still be happy to forward you on to the right connection point at one of these facilities. Oh, and I almost forgot, other options you can find here in South Salem. You can of course find a lot of houses on the smaller acreage on the normal city lots, but just a little bit outside of the city limits, you're going to be able to find quite a few properties that are an acre to 10 acres, and there's actually some farms pretty close to the area too. So if you're looking for something with acreage and a little more property, South Salem could still be a good option for you. As you probably noticed, I've been walking on this trail through a park in a few different areas, and we are in Minto-Brown Island Park. Minto-Brown is the largest park here in Salem. It's actually 1,200 acres of park. Now you can't access all of it because of course it is pretty forested and there's blackberries and other things you don't really want to be walking through. And also part of it is a nature conservatory, so you definitely can't go off the trail in that section. But there are lots of trails here, and there are actually around 29 miles of trails, and some of these are paved like I'm on right now, and some of them are unpaved. You'll find a lot of bikers, people walking, running. Every once in a while you find people skateboarding and rollerblading through the park. The park is connected to downtown by Riverfront Park, and so you can walk here through downtown Salem and get here. It's about 3/4 of a mile to get to the heart of Minto-Brown from Riverfront Park, or you can drive here off of River Road and get directly to this park. It's a little farther out of the way, but definitely an option if you live in South Salem or you don't want to have to deal with the downtown area. Minto-Brown has a dog park that's about 30 acres, and it's an off-leash area. And so if you're looking for a spot to bring your dog so they can run around and have a little socializing with other animals, it's one of the best areas in Salem to do that. It's not fenced, so you're going to want to make sure you have a good trained dog. That'll come back to you, otherwise you might want to keep them on the leash. Minto-Brown is out here in the wilderness, and there's a lot of spots to go bird watching. There's areas for fishing, whether in the Willamette River or in the sloughs. And if you're looking to have a bigger event here, you can also rent out the picnic shelters and reserve them on the city's website. Other things to do here in South Salem: if you like golf, there are actually 3 courses in South Salem. There is the Salem Golf Club, which is the only public course, and it is just south of us here in Minto-Brown. It's right off of River Road. And then there are 2 private courses, Illahee and Creekside Golf Course. If you're looking for activities to do with your family and kids, Enchanted Forest is Salem's only theme park. They have a lot of those old-fashioned fairy tales in there, and you can walk through all these different exhibits and buildings, and they have some rides. Another place worth checking out in South Salem is the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights is a movie theater that airs shows that are out of the primetime theaters, such as Regal. So they're going to be a few weeks to months behind what you can see other places, but you're going to get them at a far discounted rate. The Northern Lights also has a unique atmosphere where when you sit down, there's actually a table in front of you, and after you buy your ticket, you can purchase food and drinks, and once it's ready, they'll bring it to your seat so you don't have to leave the movie. There's an industrial area in Salem that often gets overlooked. 2 places that I wanted to highlight was the Capitol Fieldhouse, which used to be called The Hoop, and this is a place where you can go play pickleball, basketball, and volleyball, and they have leagues that you can join, and then they have tournaments on the weekends a lot of the times. And another popular spot for the active community is going to be the Rock Box, which is Salem's only bouldering gym. There is one other area you can go top roping, which is at the Kroc Center in North Salem, but for South Salem, the Rock Box is your only option. The Willamette Valley is well known for some of its vineyards, and just outside of South Salem there are several. The Willamette Valley Vineyard is one of the bigger vineyards in the area, and they have a lookout tower with a 360-degree view, which is worth going there just to check that one out. Also close to South Salem is Trinity Vineyards, and they have live music quite often. And another one a little bit farther out is Ankeny Hill Vineyards, and they do live music every weekend, and they also have really good pizza, dessert, and appetizers. Just like the rest of Salem, there's not a ton of high-end restaurants in the area. So the best you're going to find is Lively Station, and then all of the golf courses, the 3 golf courses, have restaurants associated with them, so you can go check those ones out too. I haven't been to all of them. The one at Creekside is pretty good though. Salem has quite a few breweries, and I'll highlight a few. B2 is pretty central in South Salem. I'd recommend trying them out on their Taco Tuesdays if you want a good deal. Gilgamesh is a place I've mentioned in the West Salem video. Their original spot is in South Salem in the industrial area by the airport. They have your traditional bar food, and they have a lot of different beers, both brewed in-house, and they have some of your standards also. The Mamba is a popular option that's worth trying. And Sandy Ann Brewing is another brewery in the industrial area. And I'm featuring it for a little bit different of a reason though. The menu at Sandy Ann Brewing is surprisingly English, and I've been told from someone that came from England that is fairly authentic. If you're looking for some English or British food, that's somewhere to check out. Let's move on from the breweries. There is a good hole-in-the-wall spot called St. Anne Wine and Bistro. This one is just tiny. You would never see it if you weren't told about it. They have really good lasagna, but their other options are also tasty. And to finish it up, let's end with a sweet spot. On any Sunday is an ice cream parlor right off of Commercial. It's actually just a little ways away from my office. And they have lots of different flavors of ice cream sandwiches, sundaes. So it's a very popular dessert spot. There's often a line waiting to get in there. There are, of course, many more great spots in South Salem, but I am going to end it there so this video doesn't get too long, and we are going to jump into a few houses. Here we are at our first listing here in South Salem. We're in the Sunset Meadows HOA. This house is currently listed for $547,500. It is a 4-bedroom, 2 1/2 bathroom. It's a beautiful house. It has 2 living spaces, lots of updates, newer roof. It has a really cool deck in the backyard. Very simply landscaped back there. It is 2,388 square feet. And the price per square foot is $229 per square foot. And like I mentioned, we are in the Sunset Meadows HOA. Now this is a relatively cheap HOA for Salem. It is only $110 annually, so that goes out to less than $10 a month. And so it is really affordable, and you get this nice neighborhood. Just a minute ago, there's someone pressure washing. There's a few landscape crews out here right now, which is a good sign because it shows that your neighbors care about their house, what it looks like. They're doing some good upkeep on it. All the houses were built around the same time. This one was built in 1996. This neighborhood is tucked up pretty close to I-5, so you're going to get a little bit of road noise there, but you're going to have really easy access to it. You're also just a few minutes away from the new Costco that went in, and there's a Chick-fil-A coming pretty soon to the same area. All in all, a nice house at a decent price for the area. So I wouldn't expect this one to stay on the market too long. Anyways, let's keep it short here and get on to the next one. Here we are coming up on the next house. We are in a quiet little neighborhood directly between Commercial and Sunnyside Road. It is nice and peaceful here. There's hardly any traffic on this street. There's only a walkway on one side. It's a little skinnier, so you can only park cars over there. It is currently listed at $459,900, and it is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This home has 1,802 square feet, bringing the price per square foot to $255 per square foot. Now, this home was built in 1992, so it's a little bit dated. Most of the house hasn't been updated since it was built, so you're going to get wallpapers in a few rooms, and it doesn't have that modern feel to it. The house does have a newer roof and some hardwood floors throughout it. If you're looking for something that's modern and updated and move-in ready, it might not be for you. It looks like it's in good condition, so you could live here right away, but it just won't have all those modern features that some people are looking for. Well, that's about all there is at this house, so I will drive you around the neighborhood a little bit, and we will get on to the next one. Okay, here we are coming up on the last house. You might notice it's a new day. The original house I want to show you didn't work out, but we are here at a brand new construction house that I think is even a better fit for this video. As I mentioned earlier in the video, there is a lot of new construction here in South Salem, and we are right off of Liberty Road, and there are quite a few new developments going in. And as you can tell, this neighborhood I am in is brand new construction. So most of it was built within the last 2 years. You can tell by the size of the landscaping and the trees in the front yards. They're pretty small, not giving you very much shade or privacy at this point. There is one tree up there that is pretty tall that was a holdover from before it was developed. But other than that, you are looking at new and pretty immature landscaping. And the house we're looking at today is the one right here behind me. Sorry, squinting right into the sun. This house is brand new construction. This home was built in 2022 and it is completely finished, which is nice because you can move into it right now, but there's some downfalls to it where if you buy a home that is currently under construction, there's a chance that you can improve some of the finishes, you can change the colors, pick out your own flooring, pick out what color of countertops and cabinetry you would like. Some of those things are going to cost, and some builders are going to make you pay a little bit more money up front if they're upgraded costs. But if you want the customization, a new build currently under construction is definitely the way to go. But this one, like I said, is already done. It looks really nice inside. They always go towards the largest demographic of people of what they're going to like, so they keep up with current trends. The house right behind me is listed at $710,000. It is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath house. It has 2,596 square feet, which brings the price per square foot to $273 per square foot. The benefit of new construction is that they have all sorts of price ranges. There are a few further up in South Salem that are around $450,000, all the way up to $800,000. So if your budget's over $400,000, it's likely you can find something in your range that you're looking for. Well, that is a wrap for this video. I hope you enjoyed this tour of South Salem and found some of this content useful. I am making these videos to try to make some good content for you to make informed decisions about moving here to Salem, Oregon. So if there's something you want to learn about, feel free to drop it in the comments below and I will get to it in a future video. I hope to see you around town.